everybody. Welcome into the show. It's the wrap-up, and I just got to say, what a great week of football. I really think I'm gonna call out all the other weeks right now. You're gonna have a tough time topping this one.
I will say there was a few games, you know, I wouldn't say upsets, but surprises.
Yeah, they were just, I mean, there was just a bunch of great games.
Yes,
Let's get into one of the first ones, the game of the week. Canadian and Bushland up in Canadian. These two have had great matchups over the year, a pair of 3A foes. In the first quarter, Cameron Cavalier finds Luke Flowers on a short route over the middle, and Flowers does the rest, jukes out a man, takes it down the sideline, and Flowers is gone. Huge play. Canadian goes on top first, and let me tell you something, they weren't done. Cameron Cavalier, deep shot down the field, finds Preston Newmeyer with the toe drag for the Wildcats. That sets up another score, and I'll tell you what, that Cavalier to Newmeyer connection, they just have a different type of chemistry. Newmeyer again, jukes back, huge block from Luke Flowers, and Newmeyer gets in. Canadian put up 35 in the first quarter. They win 55-35. Here's Lance Launert after the game with the winning coach.
Here we are for the News Channel 10 Sports Game of the Week. Up here in Canadian, Texas, a Class 3A showdown. Bushland Canadian. A lot of scoring tonight. It ended up Canadian 55, Bushland 35. Canadian scores on its first 5 possessions of the game to go up 35-0, all touchdowns. Coach Andy Cavalier, what a start.
Oh, yeah, things kind of went our way there early, you know. Sometimes that can be scary when you play somebody like Bushland. There was a lot of football to play when we scored on those first 5 possessions. I think it was still in the first quarter, and those guys didn't make any part of it easy, but proud of the way it finished for sure.
Bushland coming off with a crazy game against West Plains, 47-41. You knew this was going to be an offense that you had to contain. I thought you did overall a pretty dang good job.
You know, I'm super proud of our kids and the way they played. Yeah, like I said, just saying, none of it was easy. Those guys do such a good job at Bushland. Their kids are talented and play hard, and, you know, we got it done tonight.
First game as a head coach on the Canadian turf. How was it?
Yes, absolutely. So thankful to be in this community.
Very good. We got Cameron Cavalier, quarterback, Andy's son. Of course, you guys have done this a while. Hey, five consecutive scores, Cam. I mean, you had to love the start, and then you guys were able to produce late as well.
Oh, yes, sir. I mean, we had a hard challenge this week, definitely with Bushland. I mean, they had a really good defense and offensive line, and our line that was young came out and showed up today, and they really did their part. I mean, that was amazing to – they helped us win tonight. It was them tonight, and that was great.
What's it like being a Canadian Wildcat on a Friday night in Canadian, Texas?
Oh, I mean, it's great. It's just the best feeling there is.
All right, here we are. News Channel 10 Sports Game of the Week. I'm Lance Launert here in Canadian. Once again, the final score, Canadian 35, Canadian 55. Good catch. These guys know better even that way. I'm not a mathematician. Canadian 55, Bushland 35. Let's throw it back to the wrap-up. We got the Fab Four, Riley, and the other 3. We'll see you next week.
Gee, thanks, Lance. I forget the guy tonight, that Lance Launert. Yeah, 35.
But I'm honored. He remembered my name.
He must have been thinking about the first quarter, as many points they put up in the first quarter, 35. But a great game out there. And, hey, one of our pick'em games, we'll have to stay tuned later to see what the results of that were.
And we have another game coming up. It was contender for Game of the Week. Some crosstown rivals here at Dick Bivens Stadium. Paladuro against Caprock. First quarter, Paladuro's Darian Lewis here hands it off to Amari James from a few yards out, and James just falls into the end zone. Touchdown, Dons. Longhorns head coach Rowdy Freeman hoping his offense can come on and do the same, but we have a play that you might see later on. Zaquavia Smith with a huge tackle out of bounds. It looked like it hurt, but in Caprock answers, Robert Sagato takes down Lewis in the backfield. Loss of yards for the Dons. Second quarter, and the Longhorns are inside the red zone. Jamari Johnson falls on top of a few Dons and into the end zone. But as we said, this one came down to the wire. Lewis with an interception late in the game secures this win for Paladuro, 20-14.
What a finish. And Tascosa and Middle Legacy going at it a few hours south. And what do you think? The Rumble of the Rebels? The nickname for this one, Riley?
Okay.
Good nickname? Okay, there we go. Tascosa with the ball here. Keep an eye to the right of your screen here, folks. A crowd of players in the middle, but the ball fumbles, pokes free, and Colton Fulton picks it up. No one's around, so he just runs it into the end zone. Unreal. It's almost like that Tyreek Hill play from last year. Then on defense, Rebels get it done with TJ Tillman getting the pick. He takes it the other way, and Tascosa just continues to do it on defense. Jaden King scoops up the fumble. He returns it to the house for 6, but ultimately it was Legacy. Your victors tonight over Tascosa, 63-34.
We have one 5A score here for you. Amarillo, barely gets it over Cleveland, New Mexico, 28-27. Congrats to the Sandstorm.
Well, the rest of the fearsome foursome here this week. We don't get a name this week, though.
No, we don't have names. We don't have names. But, Lance, we do appreciate it, and I'm honored to be one of the other 3 with Riley. What an honor. We'll be right back with more scores, more highlights. We've got all kinds of games coming up, 4A, 3A, 2A, everything coming up right here on the wrap-up. Stay with us.